Welcome back to the Black and Gold Standard Podcast. And today we're talking offensive tackles. Again, like I've always said, the Steelers really, when it came to the offensive line, other than the center position, um, just they have always had some solid guys, not really Hall of Fame type guys, but they've always had some solid guys, especially back in the 70s and 80s. They had some guys, and throughout the last few years, offensive tackles, like I said, they always had some solid guys, but um, it's just until this last two seasons um that the Steelers have really invest on the offense, on the offensive line, but with the offensive tackles. I mean, they've tried here and there, not with a lot of success, but hopefully they got two young guys that maybe 10 years from now, these guys will be on that list. So with that said, let's get to the list. And my number five guy, Larry Brown, um, was just a solid, strong guy. Actually, started his career as a tight end, and Chuck Noll moved him to the offensive line and made him a right tackle. And like I say, he very athletic, very strong. Um, in today's game, I don't know how good he would be just off the weight. I mean, these guys are so undersized, compared to the guys that play now. But won four Super Bowls and really did his thing. Um, I think he was pretty solid. Kind of helped the Steelers with their running game and protected protected Terry Bradshaw. So I think he deserved to be on this list, and I got him at number five. Alejandro Villanueva. I got him at number four. This was really a project. He was, started off, as an Army Ranger, and then from there, he played for Army. Then I know he was with the Philadelphia Eagles, and I want to say he was on the defensive side. Then the Steelers bought him in, and obviously he got bigger, and they kind of bought him in as a project, and he ended up, you know, becoming a solid tackle for them. Played a few years, again, just nothing really special, but I would say he was above average. He was above average tackle for the Steelers. So with that said, let's go to number three, Marvell Smith. A lot of people probably forget about him. Um, Mostly played right tackle. I think he played right tackle, but it was a very solid guy. Unfortunately, injuries kind of cut his career short. But again, a guy that when he was healthy, he was very solid, and I think he was, in my opinion, probably the third best tackle that the Pittsburgh Steelers had. So with that, let's go to the number two guy, Touch Imkin. Again, another one of these guys that played, for the Steelers back in the day. Um, Size wise, wasn't very big, but just his technique was great, and he won a lot of his battles just off his technique and hand placements. And he was very strong. He was a strong guy. But like I said, a lot of these old timer guys, they put them in the game today, they would just be so undersized. But um, again, was a solid tackle for the Steelers. And our number one guy, John Cobb, again, back in the 70s and 80s, very strong. I mean, he was like, I want to say he was in that strongman competition and place in the top five. But again, kind of undersized for today's standard. But a four Super Bowl champion. Um, these were guys that Chuck Noll, really entrust, and those guys got the job done, blocking and opening holes for Franco Harris back in the day. So again, I think this is a situation where hopefully down Steelers got some guys that can jump into this list, but as of right now, these are my top five guys that I think were the Steelers all time guys. So with that said, we'll jump over to the guards, and that will be it for the offense, and then we'll start on the defense. So until then, take care. I'll talk to you later.